Hi everyone, this is Maya. I am the program manager for LA for the Arts Internship Program, and this is a tutorial for interns that will be using Adobe Express to create their video self-portrait projects. So I'm starting from the very beginning, from signing in to Adobe Express. And so you can do this on any kind of web browser that you would like to use. Um, and so I just went to adobe.com. And so this is after you have followed the instructions for setting up your Adobe account. So then you would click sign in, and you would use the email address that you used to set up your account. I'm just using an example here from a student account so you can see what this looks like. And always skip this secondary email address option. So we'll say not now. So now you have signed in to the to your Adobe account. And we're going to look for, I believe we want to click on apps. And then if we scroll down, we should find, here it is, Adobe Express. So then you will click open on Adobe Express. And so this is something that you can use on your phone, but for this project, I really suggest using it on a laptop just because of all of the things that we're going to be doing. So sometimes they ask you to answer all these questions. Maybe we can just skip all of this. So now we're on the main page. And Adobe Express actually can create a lot of different content. You can create images, documents, social media posts. So if that's something that you're working on at your internship site, you might want to try that out. But what we'll be doing today is video. So you can go ahead and click on video right here. And then we are going to create a, let's see, so when we click on video, we just, oh yeah, so then under here it says popular, and we just want to create a standard video. And we don't want templates, we just want to create a basic video. So we click on that, and it should just open up, yes, a blank page. It looks like this. And so this is where you will be, and you can take a little tour. It gives you some pretty basic instructions here, but I'm going to go a little more in depth into what you'll need to know. So this white screen right here is the, let me just expand that a little bit. There we go. Is what you'll see on your screen. And so this will be the right format for when we, upload this onto YouTube. So there are all of these templates. I would really encourage you to kind of create something with your own identity. So the templates aren't really going to help with that. They're sort of pre-made things. So to start, you want to upload the files that you have shot. So you're going to click upload right here. And then I have some sample files that I have set aside on my computer. And it's really important when you are working with a lot of different files is to have them really nicely organized on your computer and also named so that you know what you're looking at. So I'm going to upload just a couple clips that you can, they're not anything major, they're just some stock images, stock video that I downloaded, but this would this would be, in your case, the images that you have shot on your cell phone. So I'm just going to click a few. Actually, we can like click those. Okay, open. And what Adobe Express does is it kind of automatically lays everything out in your timeline. And so the timeline is this bar at the bottom here. And so you can see that it has put the different clips in basically the order they were in that file into the timeline. And so you can simply click on a clip and drag it over to reorganize. So now I've dragged it over, so I made the waterfall the first clip because that's maybe how I want to start out. So I press play. You can see here's this clip of a waterfall. Maybe I feel like this is a little long, and so I want to make it shorter. So maybe like right around here, that's enough. So I can pause, and if I wanted to make this shorter, I can just drag it to where I hit pause, and now I've shortened it. And now the next clip I have is this image of a flower blooming. And let's say I want to use this clip, but I don't want, I want to use it in pieces. So what I can do is, again, kind of click and drag this playhead, this little icon at the top here on the timeline. I can drag it to maybe a point in the video where I'm like, okay, this is where I want to cut. And then I can click this. It has this button in the corner of the clip. It's a white button with 3 dots. I can click on that, and then I can click split. And so now the clip has been cut, as if you'd taken a pair of scissors and cut it. And let's say I want to do that again. So let's say I want to kind of keep going here, and then I'm like, okay, right here I want to cut it again. So I can do that, or I can also right click, and it gives me the same option to split. So again, let's say I want to start with a waterfall. I go to the flowers, and then I'm going to bring the bird over here. And let's see, let's kind of what's the bird doing? The bird's kind of hanging out. The playhead should be moving. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Okay, the bird is picking something up, ate it. Okay, let's say that's good enough. So I'm going to resize my video to that length. So again, I'm just hovering over, and it will give me these parallel lines on either side of the clip. And then when I click on those, that's where I can drag. And I like to use the playhead as sort of a marker so that I know when to stop dragging, so that I can stop at exactly the point that I want to stop at. Let's say I kind of like that and I want to repeat that element later. I can again click on the clip and then either click on these buttons or right click, and I can duplicate. So now I have that same clip again, and let's say I move it to later in the sequence, like over here. So this is the sort of basics of editing and rearranging your content. So you can make things longer or shorter. You can cut them up into pieces. You can rearrange them. Then going into the clips themselves, you can also start to make some changes as well. So for instance, let's look at this clip right here of some people walking in a city. And let's say I feel like I want the pace of this to feel more like, I want to be sped up. I want this sense of like the rush of the city. So when I click on, I make sure I have this clip selected. you can see that I have some options. Um, I can crop it. Um, if this clip had audio attached to it, I could adjust the volume of the audio. But what I want to adjust here is the speed. So I'm actually going to speed it up, which I believe means, yeah, going, let's see, yeah. Let's say I'm going to make it like 200%. So you can see that it has gotten a little shorter on the timeline. So that's how I know that I'm making it faster. And so now you can see it's sped up and it's going a little faster. Oops. Something else to look at with these is opacity, which I'll talk about a little bit more in a second. But if I had something layered on here, I could decrease and make this more transparent. But I'll talk about that with an image later. And then effects. So I could, for instance, make this black and white if I wanted to be more moody. They also have this darken effect. So those are some options. Like maybe I want that to be black and white. I want it to be kind of moody. They also have these sort of duotone things. Like that kind of makes it look really like old timey. So you can play around with those too. But going back to effects, so I made this grayscale. I could also, I could adjust. I believe I can kind of make it a little, maybe like make it a little darker because it looks a little bright there. But those adjustments really are probably more interesting when you look at something that has color. So let's go back to these flowers and click on those. And then I can go into adjustments and I could make this image brighter. Maybe it seems a little too dark to me. Maybe I really want to brighten up some of the whites. So I would use the highlights, saturation. Maybe I want to make it more saturated. And let's say I want to make it like a little cooler, kind of goes towards blue, and then warmer would go towards more yellows. So it's just some sort of basic color adjustments that you can make in this program. Going back, so I initially uploaded some video. Another thing that you can do is upload audio. So I'm going to click upload, and I have some music that I have some links for some various sources, and then I'll talk to you about how you can find audio within Adobe Express as well. So I'm going to click open, and that has now uploaded. You can see down here, it's uploading my audio content. And so if you might notice that it's bringing everything directly into the timeline of this video. But in addition, let's say you were working on another video later and you want to reuse this this audio. You don't actually have to upload it again. You have this folder called Your Stuff, and when you click on it, it takes a little while for these to load in. So you can see right now the only thing that has loaded in is the waterfall clip, but it will load in all these different assets into this Your Stuff folder eventually. So going back to, I'm not sure if this screen recording is going to pick up on the audio, but I'll just press play just in case. So there is audio coming through that's going along with the video now. So we've added audio. This is also, if you wanted to do a voiceover, you would need to record, say, on your phone or on your computer, and have a file that you can upload as your voiceover. So in addition, you can also upload still images. I am realizing that I don't have any still images in this set of assets. So I'm actually going to show you how you can also source media from Adobe Express. And so, as I mentioned, I really want this project to be a, um, a reflection of you. And so sometimes the assets that are on here are kind of more general. They're really more for like advertising. So I would encourage you not to use these too much. But I did want to um, call your attention to, you know, uh, like how you might use some of these things. So actually, I'm noticing something right here that's sort of exciting. So you might notice that there's this little like icon at the bottom corner here. And it's a little crown with a check mark. And so because we've signed in to our Adobe account, we have access to this premium content. And so if you were using the free version, it would not let you export your file if you use this. But since we have this, I'm going to go ahead and click it. And what's kind of cool is you can, let's make sure this is working the way I want it to. Yeah, this is maybe one of those instances where you could play with the opacity and have a little bit of fun. So maybe I just wanted to have that video sort of layered over. So you see now I've I've incorporated this animation into a layer that has added this sort of sparkly layer over the footage of the flower. So that's one way to create interesting layers in your video. Another thing you might be interested in doing is, let's say you have photos from a trip somewhere and you want to incorporate those. You could have them as static photos in the timeline. So let's just use like, like let's say this is like a picture of you and your friends that you've uploaded. And so I've added that as a new scene. And so now we have a static image that this is cutting to. And so you might want to, I'm not sure how loudly that this audio is coming through, so I'm actually going to turn it down for right now for the tutorial. But I'm also noticing we might need to adjust a little bit here because I think the clip wasn't quite long enough. Okay, so yes, okay, so now we have this picture of you and your friends. And so that takes up the whole timeline, the whole scene. Another thing you might want to do is, let's say you have like another picture of your friend in the forest, and you want to include it with this video of the bird. So this way we're layering the video, we're layering like maybe this picture of your friend with this video of the bird. So now we have a video and an image combined together. And I probably wouldn't want to cover up the bird. Maybe you would. So if you wanted to adjust the size, you just click on the photo, and you can drag the corner in to make it a little smaller. Let's see. I think that will look a little better. Yep, there we go. Okay. So that's ways to use still images, ways to use to layer video, to play with opacity. So then another, I think, big thing that people like to use is text. So, so as I mentioned, you do have videos that you can use from here. And so it's not just that sparkly stuff. There's all sorts of, so I could even, pull other seasonal videos. this could be like another layering option where I'm layering the trees with the flowers. So lots of different things here to play around with. But again, make sure you're also incorporating your own sort of personal imagery in, and it's not all coming from stock photos and videos. I'm just using them here as an example. And then another nice thing in here is that they have lots of audio. So they have sound effects. So I could bring in, crowds cheering, whooshing. They also have, background music that, you can just press this little play button to preview it. And then if you like it, you can just drag it into your timeline. Or I think if you click it, let's see, if I don't have anything selected, if I click it, yeah, it'll just kind of pop it in wherever the playhead is. So, so there's that. I'm gonna delete it though because we don't need 2 bits of audio. Oh, actually, I was wrong. You have a record voiceover option here, so that's great. I don't know if it's going to do something weird if I try to do that right now, but let's just test it real quick. So I'm going to allow permission, start recording. It gives me a countdown. This is Maya's amazing video self-portrait project. And so you can see that it has automatically recorded my voiceover here. So that's really nice. So then you can just do it straight into Adobe Express. You don't have to worry about recording it elsewhere. I am going to delete this though. And it looks like you can also, mute the tracks by clicking on it as well. And similarly, you can go in and split and move your audio around as well. So it functions the same way. So let's say I wanted to, this is a very short recording that I just made, but if I wanted to split it, I could then move this audio. Whoops, I just shrunk it down there. Let's see. Let's zoom in. So that's something that happens if you kind of need to zoom in. You can use this slider at the bottom here. So what I accidentally did is I think I shrunk it down to be really, really small. And so now, there we go, there it is. So let's say I wanted to move this voiceover somewhere else. I would then click on it and I can drag it to different points in the timeline for my voiceover to come up. Okay, and then we'll just go ahead and delete this because we don't need it. Okay, so that is audio. There is some more stuff here that I'm not really going to get into. I just want to get into the basics, but you can definitely check out tutorials online and experiment. But I think another thing that people really like is to use text. So you have like all these sort of template texts that you could use, but then you could also just click, add some text. You just click on it, type, hopefully. I don't know if it's because I have done something. Pause. Text. I should just be able to. Okay, I think maybe it's just being a little slow. Maybe it's trying to render something. So I am new to this, to using Express. So I'm not entirely sure why it's not letting me edit this so much right now. I mean, one thing to point out is that once you start layering things, a nice thing over here is that it shows you your different layers up at the top here. So, you know, if you have a bunch of stuff going on and you want to make sure you have the right thing selected, it does give you that over here. So that's how I know, like, okay, I'm going to select this to make sure I'm editing. And I'm seeing the cursor. Okay, maybe I just needed to come out and come back in. That could have been it. Sometimes that's sort of the version of turning it off and on again, is just to click out of it and click back in. Okay, so I've typed that out, you know, a little bit boring. I can go over here and looks like I have a lot of different fonts I can choose from. Maybe I want it to be like more like a script like that. I can change the fill. So let's say I don't want it to be that boring black. They've got a bunch of colors here, and then you can, I think you could just custom, probably from a color slider, you know, choose exactly the color that is your heart's desire. Looks like this one only comes in regular. There are other ones that might have a bold, like this one has like an oblique, a soft oblique. So there's some different options. I can make it much bigger. Let's make it like 200 maybe. There we go. I can use this little blue button down here to move it around to the right position. It's giving me guidelines, so that this pink is telling me that now this is dead center. So that's helpful. Also, there's this outline. So let's say I want it to be pink, outlined in white. There we go. So I've chosen an outline color. And you can change the thickness of the outline. Let's set it to like that. And again, opacity, I can change, I can make this more transparent, or 100% opacity means that it is not, that it's not transparent at all. And it looks like you can add animation, which might be kind of fun. Let's see. Okay, so let's say I wanted this to come in and I wanted it to drop. Click on that, and you can see now it's kind of dropped from the top. And I've chosen just for it to drop in. Looks like I can make some adjustments, so I can maybe make it drop a little longer, make it smooth. And I'll say start outside page. So now it's dropping in from the top. And I can also make it, I think I can make it drop in from like the side. That's kind of fun. So that's what we're gonna do. So that's a fun little animation on your text. So this is more like my title text. I could also have maybe some more text on this page where I wanted it to maybe be more, a little more kind of serious. So less like this and more, let's maybe just kind of something more less flashy. So let's make this like 50, and let's say maybe kind of more of like a gold color. Maybe it's you know, coming in somehow to complement what we're talking about here. And it could be like, every day is a new day. And similarly, I could animate this as well. So let's see. So it looks like this is pretty, is existing throughout the whole clip, but if I wanted it to maybe come in and out, I could use that animation again. And let's say we have it, looks like that's gonna kind of go from, yeah. So let's see what that looks like. So see, that's kind of coming in. And I wonder if I can make it fade out as well. Okay, let's see what happens when we do that. I'm learning as I'm going here. Okay, so it's faded in. Now it's fading out, like at the end. So yeah, so that in and out is really seems to be determined by the length of the scene. But you can definitely go in there and, you know, see how you can continue to play around with that. So that's, I think, some really nice little bits about text there, and how you can work with it. Let's see, you know, there are some elements, so you could bring in some shapes. They have different backgrounds that you could play around with, especially, you know, if you wanted your intro to be like just a solid background. I mean, it looks like there are some, transparent images that you could pop on here if you wanted to. So there's a lot of stuff here, but again, I just really encourage you to, you know, try to utilize things that you've created first, and then using the editing process as sort of icing on the cake, rather than, you know, relying heavily on the content that's in here. So let's say that I'm feeling pretty good about this video. This is how I want it to be. Then I would go up here and I would click download. And so when I click download, I just want to make sure I do want it to be MP4. That's very important. Make sure that it says MP4. And then we'll keep it at 1080p. And so then you would click download. And so this could take a while. You can see that it's having to render a little bit. So there is like a little delay here. But after you have downloaded this, the file will be quite large. And so that's where you would need to use either WeTransfer or Google Drive. So if you have a Gmail account and you have enough space, this is key, that you have enough storage space on your Gmail account, you can just upload it to Google Drive and send a link. Make sure that the link is you know, shareable, that it's not private only to you. Another option that you can use is a site called WeTransfer. So I'll go there right now just to show you what that looks like while that is downloading. So you go to WeTransfer.com. You don't need to make an account with this, even though it will ask you to. I usually just reject cookies. So you just go up here, you click add files. It opens up anything on your computer. You know, I can just pick, you know, just like this random MP3 right here. And then in title, I would just put, I would make sure to type like your name. So for me, it would be Maya's video self-portrait. And then in the message, hello, this is my self-portrait. Oh, and so this is creating a link. I thought there's a way to send it as an email. More options. Okay, so you can either click get a link and then you can just copy and paste that into an email to me, or you can click send an email. I feel like that cuts down on a step personally. The only thing is that then you have to put, so you would put my email at gmail.net, exploringthearts.org, and then you'd have to put like a from. So I'll just put Jess's, J Del at and so then this way it would just so they have to verify. Okay, this is, let's see. Okay, so now they're asking to verify, which I didn't realize that they were doing. So you would just need to pop in a code here to make sure that it was okay. Or you could you just use the link and then you don't have to do this. So it's up to you, whichever one you'd want to do. But anyways, I believe this is done now. So now I have the video on my computer. Oh, I did forget to mention, I didn't name it, but you probably want to come up here and just name it up in the top right hand or left hand corner up here. Just name your file before you, so you can find it and then it has a name when you download it. But now you can see that here's my video on my computer. And I can, again, upload this onto WeTransfer or upload it onto Google Drive and send it. And so that's how you create your video self-portrait project. And again, please reach out to me with any questions. Happy to troubleshoot this with you.